Hi and welcome. I'm Barbara or Doll, and this is where you'll find me about once a week, chit-chatting, rocking in my chair, knitting, spinning, and just sharing pieces of my life. I hope you enjoy this video. Take care. God bless. Good day, friends. It's Doll or Barbara coming to you from my comfy rocking chair here on Hamilton Mountain in Ontario, Canada. This is our rocking chair knit and chat. I have my favorite beverage here. It is a cold brew that I started doing myself with a couple of shots of Irish cream coffee flavor and ice. Absolutely perfect. Keeps me caffeinated and hydrated. But we're not here to talk about tea or coffee or lemonade or any of those things. We're here to talk about knitting things and just a general chat, I guess. Here in Canada, we're coming up this weekend to our Memorial Day weekend or our Victoria Day weekend. It's a long weekend in May. It looks like it might be good weather, but we're too far out to really tell. And it's actually warmer outside of our basement apartment today than it is in here. So we might be going just to sit outside for a while. We do plan to go to the garden center or Home Depot to pick up a few things. I have a gift card. We have our raised beds ready to be planted. And so we'll get some things for that and keep moving on with whatever our garden's going to be this year, because you just don't know. But I'm hoping that you're finding some blessings this day as you go along. I thought I would show you what I'm working on. So this is a prayer shawl. The yarn was gifted to me, so it's not recycled, but it was thrifted. It's acrylic, very, very soft. I have this much left in this ball, and I think I have 2 more balls left, so I can make it fairly large. This is the Boneyard Shawl pattern by Stephen West. Very, very easy to do, and I'm enjoying that. So I picked that up when I want to do some knitting that I don't think about. I'm also continuing to work on this year's whatever sweater. So let me see if I can turn it this way. So it's the denim blue, which is my favorite. It's Briggs & Little that I purchased last December or January. December, I guess, because I wanted to cast it on for my 12 cast-ons for December. And I may, because I'm knitting it not too tightly, on a little bit larger needle than the pattern might have called for, it could be good for spring and early fall and just little cap sleeves. So I'm thinking about picking this up in it'll come to me. Special finish that I can't think of right now. But there you'll have it, and I'll make it fairly long because I like things fairly long. So that's still going. I try to do 1, maybe 2 rows every single day, and it's coming along really well. So of course, I'm working on socks, and this is May's sock, and the first one I'm hoping to be done. I was hoping to be done by tomorrow. Not going to happen. Let me just pull it all out here. There's the line for my afterthought heel. So it's a twisted rib 1 by 1. And then I was trying a different pattern in here. Didn't really like it, but didn't want to rip it out. Since these are for me, I don't care. And then this is the simple skip or Skype pattern that you can find on Ravelry. And I've done a number of these. So far, I've knit 4 pairs of socks. I'm right up to speed. And then, as the crazy sock lady shows with her socks, I decided I would try using these lovely markers to mark my rows when I don't have my iPad out to click every row. So between the white here and the first marker are 12 rows, because I try to do 12 a day. and then 12 rows, and then 12 rows. So there's 36 plus whatever I've knit this morning on there. So 36, 48, I'm going to try it on and see if it's long enough. And if not, I'll go 60 and then do the toe and then come back and do the heel. So there you have it. I think one of the last videos I did, I was working on the last sock for April and pulling out the stitches for the afterthought heel. So that was kind of fun. And worked out really well. This one will be much easier to see, to pick up the stitches on both sides. And if you haven't done an afterthought heel, there's lots of tutorials on YouTube for you to find that. The other thing with it is, lost my train of thought. There you go. The afterthought heel. I just find it so simple. And once you pick up those stitches, you divide into 4 needles, do like you would a toe. And once that's done, you're done, which is kind of nice. Now I do a gusset, eye of the partridge kind of gusset heel sometimes. And I've done the German short row as well, or the boomerang heel. I'm not sure which one I like the best, but this one seems to be the favorite right now. So that's what I'm working on. And I'll show these again because I haven't done anything with them. Here is the sock yarn that I dyed. This is dyed with food coloring, if anybody wanted to know. It's just food coloring. So this are my early spring strawberry colorway. And it's 80-20. So merino and nylon. And then this in a similar colorway is what I call watermelon. So it's got the green splashes, and I'm curious as to how they're going to knit up. I'd like to sell one of these skeins to someone. If you're interested, let me know. We can do a PayPal or an e-transfer on that. Since these were test knit, they won't be really expensive. So if you're interested in one or both, let me know. I won't be casting on either one of these until we get to the end of May, which is going to be like a half a month from now. So if you want one, let me know. I'm not too sure about the price yet, but it won't be as costly as what you would normally spend. I would normally spend about $30 to $34 on sock yarn, so it'll be reduced. So there you go. My little personal plug there for something that I'm selling. And then I also have this wonderful fiber braid in the watermelon colorway. Isn't it pretty? I haven't started spinning it yet though. I did a little bit of the green. I did a tiny little bit of this pale green on my spindle just to get a sense of it. This is a merino nylon blend from Knit Picks that I've had in my stash for quite a while. And it is squishy and soft. And who knows how that's going to spin up. I'm hoping to do a 2-ply. So we'll see how that goes as well. And the only other item I've been working on, and I'll get my great big bag. This is from the dollar store. If anybody wonders about my bag, this one's from the dollar store. My sock yarn bag was made by my daughter, but this one I bought at the grocery store, at the dollar store. So here's my northeasterly, and I'm all tangled up here. And I'm not going to stand up for this right now. There's the color I'm working on right now. But you can see, isn't that something? All of these different colors. So I'm still missing yellow. So I may have to dye some yellow, don't you think? It should have, I got a bit of gold, but there's no actual yellow in here at all. And I have 2, 3, 4, 5 strips. I'm working on the 6th one, and I don't know how many more strips I'll do. I don't have a clue at this point how much farther that's going to go. And the only other thing to show really, and I haven't done any work on it, is the Botanical Shawl by Stephen West, because I don't think I worked on it since the last time I talked with you. But there it is. And I love this pattern. It is so nice to work on. I do kind of have to keep track of where I am, though, so that I know when to do what I have to do with it. But it's an easy pattern, and I've enjoyed working on it tremendously. So those are the things, my works in progress that I'm working on. If somebody were to ask me what I was reading, I'm still reading the first installment of the Bridgerton stories. So The Duke Who Loved Me, I think is what it's called. I've seen the first 2 seasons, so I'm waiting for this 3rd season, which comes out, I believe, the end of this week, if not tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Here at home, we've gone back to watching The Good Wife, and through Paramount Plus on Amazon. And I've been able to pick up through that as well the NCIS series right back to the very beginning. So we've started to watch those. There's a lot of those episodes that we never watched. We just never saw. So that's kind of fun, going back and doing that. We did finish Call the Midwife when they finished up a week ago. So I've gone back to the beginning. And sometimes at the end of the day, I watch that. Last evening, we watched an episode of Two Broke Girls. We're in season 1, episode 3 or something like that. And then through Paramount Plus, I'm also rewatching Rain. So we're in the first season and possibly episode 4 or 5, something like that. It's one of my favorites. So, and when I'm knitting and I don't want to pay particular attention to every detail on the TV, watching something I've already seen is calming for me. I'm not going to have some monster jump out at me that I don't expect, and there won't be a dialogue I'm afraid to miss, that kind of thing. So I should tell you this, I did have a friend at our quilting group who went outside into the churchyard and pulled dandelion tops for me that I now have in the freezer to use as a dye bath. So I will hopefully be able to take you along on some of that process and see how that works. The dandelions here at home have all been cut, so I have no more to gather here, and the lawn at the church was also mowed as well. So there's enough flowers out now that we don't have to worry about saving them for the bees or anything. I did put a short video up yesterday of my tulips, and they're looking really pretty. They were planted before we moved in, and they're on the edge where there really is no garden. So they were just planted in the grass to show something pretty early in the season. Excuse me, I'm getting a little hoarse here, aren't I? So I wonder what you're working on. Are you crafting a lot? Are you knitting? Are you crocheting? Oh, that's what I forgot to show you. See what happens when I chat? I decided, and I can't remember the name of the gal who showed it to us, to try the crocheted hexagons, because I am doing a grandmother's garden hexagon project, but this is what I'm doing, and this is all leftover sock yarn. Isn't that pretty? Putting them together is a little annoying for me, so I may try to figure out if there's another way to do that. I'm just looking for my next one. I'm going to sneeze, so excuse me. This will be another one. Excuse me. So that's another project I have been working on just a little bit, and it's so much fun. I haven't gone back to my paper piecing in the last week or so, but it's still on my longish to-do list. And I do enjoy it, but I have some sewing I need to do. I need to hem a couple of pairs of pants for my husband. I need to fix a hole that I created in my white shirt. And because I'm being ordained in the United Church here, not this weekend, but the following weekend, I need to shorten my robe. I've lost enough weight that the robe drags on the ground. And somebody did say they'd hem it, but they were just going to hem it on the machine, and I can do that myself. So I'm going to bring it home from church tomorrow being Wednesday, and I'll wash it and then mark it and hem it. It's got a fairly large area where I can hem it fairly well, so that shouldn't be a problem. But that's kind of on my sewing machine list right now for this week, if not next week. So there, see, finished one row at least. Anywho, I have some gardening to do inside. I was gifted a beautiful African violet with deep purple blossoms, and it needs to be repotted. There's 2 plants in there. I shared a piece of my variegated pink African violet with a friend, so we kind of traded off a little bit. I have some sweet basil in a pot on my kitchen counter, and I rooted a piece, so I'm going to put that out in the raised garden bed, I believe, once we get things started there. And beside me here, I have my shamrocks. Let me see if I can turn this. It may get a little bit too bright. Whoopsies. Yeah, it might just be too bright. That one's been blooming, the white one. And this one here, I repotted, and it's just not really thriving the way I'd like it to thrive. But it'll come. I'm not worried. I'm not too worried at all. So let me know in the comments below what you're working on. Maybe your favorite colors. I always like to know the color palettes that people like to use. So in the Dressing Your Truth system, I'm a type 2. So this kind of a blue is good for me. Pale green, pale colors, pastels are really good for me. And I actually like to work with those too. Like a nice light purple is what I'm really drawn to. So the purples and the light pinks. But what are your colors? What do you like to work with? What do you look good in? What have you been working on? Let me know. Share a little bit of you with me so that I have a better idea of the kinds of things that you might want to see in an upcoming video. I'm not been doing tutorials. There's so many good tutorials out there on how to do certain things that I'll let those kind of stand for themselves. But if there's something that you'd like me to show you how I do it, let me know. I haven't been baking much, although I will be doing some bread in the next day or so. I did some sugar-free banana chocolate chip cookies last week that were good once I put a little butter on them and a little salt, because there was no salt in the recipe. So they were kind of bland. So I haven't been in the kitchen very much. Mostly sitting and working on my fiber work. I want to get back to my wheel. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday's a day I'd like to do work on the wheel. I know the yarn hirelette, Stephanie Pro McPhee, used to bring out her spinning wheel on Tuesdays. And I learned that like back in 2005 or so. So I try to do that, but just hasn't been there. And I haven't done much spindling either. So we'll see how all that comes together. But as I sit and I rock here today, I wish you all the best for this week. May whatever light shines in your life brighten your days, because we all need a little sunshine and brightness, don't we? And when it rains, it's liquid sunshine. That's what I was taught. So even on dark days, we can find a candle to light and lighten our lives. May that which is good be with you, and know that I am thinking of you and holding you in that wonderful, powerful light. So God bless. Till next time. We'll see you later. Bye for now.